Montana State went 8-4 in their first year in the Mountain West, and it's going to conclude in the Hawaii Bowl against UConn. This is actually the Bobcats' first bowl game since 1976, which was a 10-3 win over NDSU. This is also Tommy Malot's final collegiate game, and we want to make sure he goes out on top. So while bowl games may not mean a ton anymore, this means a lot to Montana State and Tommy Malott as they're rocking the 1984 throwback jerseys here when they won the championship 40 years ago at the FCS level, and hope to one day win a championship at the FBS level. But right now our focus is on UConn, who is much more pass happy than Montana State. Here goes Scott Humphrey, the 1,000-yard rusher, fighting his way up the middle for a quick gain of 5 yards. Faced with an early third down, pass is going to be caught on that left side, but it's going to be just shy of that first down marker, which means we're going to have to punt. And here comes UConn. They are led by quarterback Nick Evers, a 4-star quarterback with almost no skill caps. Cam Edwards is their running back, and he's going to pick up 7 yards on first down. He doesn't even have 400 yards rushing this season, but we're not going to take him lightly because of that. That's a great throw by Evers to pick up the first down. Now he's going to keep this one himself, cuts it upfield, or it brings him down, but not until he picks up 7. Looking to throw here on 2nd down and 3. Over the middle, he's got his man who cuts upfield there, and TJ Sheffield picks up the first down. Play fake now on 2nd and 7, and that pass is going to be knocked away. Faced with a 3rd down now, Montana State looking for the stop, and that's what they're going to get. Tariq Barr, who had 5 or 6 sacks in this stadium earlier this season, gets his first of the day. Then that's going to take them outside of field goal range as that kick is wide left. Montana State with some solid field positioning on the ensuing drive now. Scott Humphrey's going to bounce this one to the left and pick up 6 on the ground. Faced with a 3rd down now, Dollar has the reception, but again, we're going to be just shy of that first down marker. This time the offense stays on the field. RPO, it's going to be a handoff, but UConn was all over that, and the Huskies are going to have this in some phenomenal field position now after the turnover on downs. Here goes Cam Edwards right up the middle, and that's going to pick up a quick first down right there. Handoff to the backup running back now, Victor Rosa, but he's only going to pick up a yard. 3rd down and 8. Montana State sends some heat. It's going to get picked up, though, and Nick Harris, the big tight end, has that reception. Setting up the screen now for Rosa. Gets past the first man. A bad angle there, and he's going to pick up 4. 3rd down and 6. Now quick throw by Evers. Going to be caught by Harris, and the tight end dives across the plane. Touchdown UConn as they strike first. MSU opening up the second quarter, looking to respond with a touchdown of their own, and that's going to be Malot's first incomplete pass of the day as he was under a lot of pressure. 3rd down pass is going to be caught. Lanyata Alexander over the middle, shy of the first down marker yet again, and Hall comes out to punt. Pass by Evers now is going to be going over the middle. That's Sheffield with his second grab of the day, picking up 7. Again, they are very pass happy, as we saw from the numbers earlier, and there's their senior receiver, Buckman, who actually leads the team. Rosa's going to cut this one up the middle, untouched until he gets about 13 yards downfield there. Screen pass now for Bell, and he's only going to be picking up 3 on that play. Quarterback run here by Evers. He's going to get hit, though. The ball is on the ground, and Corey Boyd is ready to jump on top of it for Montana State, and that might just be the swing in momentum that this team needs. Nice run by Scott Humphrey, who's really been limited so far today. Now Malott on the quarterback keeper. Humphrey with a great block downfield. Malott down the right sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 37, but what a big run to keep this Montana State offense on the field, and that might just get us going. Nice completion over the middle. That's going to pick up a quick first down, but now we're faced with 3rd and 8. Ryan Lonergan with the reception. The tight end still yet to get into the end zone this season. 3rd down and 8, yet again dumping this one off to Lonergan. He's unable to hold on to it, and he would have not gotten the first down anyway, so we're going to bring out Casey Adams for this field goal attempt, which is going to be right down Broadway. Both teams have gotten on the board now, but UConn wants to extend their lead here before halftime. Evers with a clean pocket and a wide open check down in Rosa. He gets them out to the 40. 1:09, it's going to be a quick throw here by Evers. Bell with the reception, and that's going to pick up 6 right there. 45 seconds now, and again, no pressure on the quarterback as Bell gets open, and now Evers is over 100 yards passing. Pump fake, and now he goes out to the right side. Rosa with the reception, picking up 4, and now the clock is really starting to run down. Evers firing that one over the middle. He's got his tight end, Nick Harris, down at the 15-yard line. 3 seconds left on the clock, and Chris Freeman's going to get them on the board. The flag isn't really going to matter, though, and that's going to take us to halftime. The Huskies are also going to get the football to open up the third quarter of play. Here goes Edwards on a run to the right side. He's going to get out to the 30, 17 yards on the first play of the half. A little bit of a wide receiver screen here for TJ Sheffield, and he's going to pick up 8 with it. Play fake now, Evers looking to throw downfield to that left side, and he is completing almost everything that leaves his hand. Play fake yet again, but Montana State has had enough of it. Cole Bullock gets in there with the sack, big loss of 8. Second down and long, under pressure again, but he's able to get the pass off to his tight end, breaks out of the initial contact, and makes this third down and 13. We're going to send a blitz, and it's going to get home. 3 times we have gotten to the quarterback today, and 2 of those have been Tariq Barr. Here's Tommy Malott and the offense now airing this one out to the left sideline. It's going to be caught. Ty McCulloch, can he outrace the DB? Yes, he can. Touchdown. Montana State finally able to get into the end zone, and it came on a big play. Evers looking to respond now as the game is all knotted up at 10 apiece, and Edwards is getting shifty on the ground. 51 yards on just 5 carries today. Evers is going to roll directly into a sack, and it's Tariq Barr with his 3rd of the night. This man loves playing in Hawaii. Second down and 17. Check it down to the tight end, who again breaks out of the initial contact, and that's going to set up 3rd down and 9. Evers with a clean pocket and a wide open man over the middle. It looks like he's going to be able to take it the distance. Shamar Porter is gone. Touchdown, UConn, and they're going to recapture the lead. The defense looked like they were sleeping on that play. Can the offense respond now? Screen pass here for Humphrey. Tries to make a move back inside. It doesn't work, but he's still got 7. Going back to the ground with him now, following his blockers, and that's going to be enough to pick up another Bobcat first down. Fake the give to him now. Malott's got time, and a wide open man downfield. That's his tight end, Hunter Providence, at the 30. In scoring range now, looking to tie this game up, and again going to that left side for McCulloch, who makes a leaping grab down at the goal line. What a play. Looking to punch us into the end zone now, and Tommy Malott, the senior quarterback in his final game, is in there, and he's going to hit the gritty. All knotted up once again here late in the 3rd. Evers under some pressure. That's going to force a bad throw. And Montana State's defense forced a quick 3 and out. But now UConn's trying to force a 3 and out of their own. And they're going to get even better than that. Pass is going to be intercepted by Jordan Wright. And that's going to give UConn some good field positioning. Once again, they've had that plenty of times today. And they're looking to take full advantage of it with Cam Edwards on the ground, picking up a quick first down. 5 wide right here. Wide open is Harris, and the tight end's going to pick up 7 yards as the quarterback has well over 200 yards passing now. He's also got some good legs, and Evers is going to convert that 2nd down and short. Looking to take off and run yet again. 1st down yardage and more. Orts with the hit, but this time no fumble. Just about 9 minutes left to go in this bowl game. It's going to be a screen pass here for Rosa, and this Bobcat secondary is hitting hard right now. Trying to get the stop on 3rd down, and that's exactly what they do as Tariq Barr and Cole Taylor make a quarterback sandwich. That's going to force Freeman to attempt another field goal, which gives UConn the 3-point advantage. 7.5 minutes left to go now as this clock continues to tick, tick, tick on down. That's going to be 6 yards on the ground for Humphrey. Feed him the football again, and he's going to get into open space. He's been limited for a lot of today's game, but there he gets us out to midfield. 3rd down and 12 now. Malott's able to get this one out. It's going to be caught by Lanyata Alexander, but he's not going to pick up the first down. Offense stays on the field for 4th and short over the middle. It's going to be incomplete as Taco Dollar got smacked hard over the middle, and now UConn has a chance to take a 2-possession lead on this drive, especially if they're converting on 3rd down and long like that. TJ Sheffield able to get open. The DB tried to make a play, but he got beat. Now here goes Edwards on 3rd and 10. We were not expecting the run there. They catch us off guard, and Edwards makes it a 10-point game. 2 minutes left to go in this one. Firing this one downfield, and again, Dollar getting killed on the route. third down. We want the conversion. Malott wants to pick it up with his legs. He had a man open, but instead he coughs up the football and UConn jumps on top of it. Please do not let that be his final play in college. Edwards with a run up the middle. He's not going to pick up the first down, and Montana State will use a timeout. Freeman out here to attempt another field goal, and he has hit his last 3 attempts. Luckily, we do get to see at least 20 more seconds now of Tommy Malott. Airing this one out to the right side, and he's got McCulloch, and this is going to be his second huge touchdown of the day. 81 yards right here as Montana State tries to put together some form of a comeback here at the end of the game. We're going to need to recover this onside kick, though. We've got Brendan Hall out here to do it. We have not done this at all in this series, and it's not going to happen here as they just scoop it up with one hand. They're going to run out the final 11 seconds, and the Bobcats are going to fall short in their first bowl game in this series. Nick Evers was unstoppable, over 200 yards passing and completing 85% of his passes, while Malott honestly wasn't bad. He had those 2 long touchdowns. That one interception wasn't great, and Humphrey was really bottled up in this one. Maybe we should have run it more with Malott. Only 5 attempts for 31 yards. And how about Ty McCulloch? 200 yards and 2 scores for the sophomore. He really showed out in today's game, and if we were able to get the victory, would have been the player of the game. Lanyata Alexander Jr. only had 2 receptions, and unfortunately Dowler only had 1 for 4. Looking at the defense, Ryan Ort led us in tackles. The senior is going to be missed. 3 sacks for Tariq Barr. I think that means he got 9 in the state of Hawaii this season. We're going to be moving now into the rest of the postseason and the offseason, taking a look at all of the coaching changes across the nation. Nothing new inside of the Mountain West Conference. Throughout the season, there have been several players threatening to transfer. We'll have to see if any of them follow through. Despite the loss to UConn, Tariq Barr was still the defensive player of the week. And something I did notice looking at all of the head coach openings is NDSU is going to get a new head guy. Looking at the 2024 college football playoffs, it's the Michigan Wolverines that go back-to-back after defeating Florida State, who has an 8 seed, went on a magical run to get all the way to the championship. There were also a lot of upsets in the first round. I mean, Rutgers beat Oklahoma by 20. Ohio State, the national champion in real life, got blown out by Alabama, and Memphis just barely missed out on playing in the championship. With the playoffs all said and done, DJ Uiagalelei, with that playoff run, led the nation in passing yards just ahead of Cam Rising. Braden Schrager was the passing leader in the regular season. Obviously, he had no college football playoffs to help inflate his numbers. Uiagalelei also led the nation in touchdown passes with 53 ahead of Heisman winner Jalen Milroe. And when it comes to most interceptions, luckily, Tommy Malott was second. He didn't quite lead the nation in that, but I definitely have to work on that in future seasons. Donovan Edwards led in rushing yards with almost 1,800. Nick Singleton was behind him. Then Cooley from Liberty. Most rushing touchdowns is also going to go to Donovan Edwards, tied with Phil Maffa. Kobe Drake from Memphis led the nation in receiving yards, but receiving touchdowns goes to the freshman Micah Hudson. Unbelievable to see from such a young player. He has a bright future ahead of him. Demetrius Knight Jr. had 122 total tackles to lead the nation. Ryan Ort, Bobcat safety, 9 tackles for loss, tied with Jalen Sneed. He also had 4 interceptions, but the most interceptions went to Johnson and White, each with 6. Into the actual meat of the offseason, it's time to see which players will be leaving our program, and we have 4 guys that are threatening to transfer. 2 of them don't really count. This was a pretty overpowered roster that I took over, so I actually moved a bunch of guys over to different positions, such as this tight end here or this defensive tackle. They were at wide receiver and linebacker and all that kind of stuff. They were just way too good, and obviously the Bobcats are not going to be a powerhouse coming up from the FCS to the FBS, but we do have 2 other real players threatening to transfer out. Ty McCulloch, I want to try to persuade him. He had a fantastic bowl game, and unfortunately that's not going to work. And Elijah Elliott, a freshman in this game, can we persuade him? Yes, we can. He sticks around. That's great to see because that overall is fantastic for such a young player. It was a great season with Tommy Malott. He will be missed. We're going to have to move on. John Johnson is also going to be moving on. McCade O'Reilly, great linebacker for Montana State, Ryan Ort, and Max Murphy are all graduating. Honestly, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but obviously no one went on to the NFL. The Bison are not unfamiliar to producing NFL talent though, and they had a 7th round receiver. But when it comes to these new FBS teams, that was it. Now, there are a lot of players here in the transfer portal that are interested in being a Bobcat. I'm excited to see what we can do here. Recruiting has come and gone, and now we've got some new players here on the Bobcats, including wide receiver Chase Roberts. We got him from BYU. Unfortunately, we did not get everyone that we were going after. It looks like we should get this corner and this free safety. Both players actually from our rivals, the Montana Grizzlies, so switching sides on that rivalry. I thought we were going to get Justin Martin to commit to our team, but at the last second, he chose to go with Utah, so he will not be our quarterback a season from now, and I really thought we had a good shot at getting him. We did not get this left tackle either. In fact, we went after a lot of offensive linemen, didn't get everyone we wanted. You guys already saw we got John Ward there. We got Corbin Addison, another player from the Grizzlies. That's right, we got 3 Montana Grizzlies joining the Bobcats this season. That's going to make the Brawl of the Wild in 2025 a pretty wild game. We also didn't get this receiver here, Ray. He goes to FSU after they go on that run. We do get this right guard who used to play for Washington, as well as Chase Roberts, as you already saw. LSU had the top class this season, signing 3 5-star players and 21 4-stars. Meanwhile, we honestly weren't even that bad down here at number 47. That finished first in our conference, and for a Mountain West team, I will 100% take that. And our one player that did transfer out, Ty McCulloch, signed with South Alabama. We've got a couple athletes here whose positions we need to change. It looks like Heller will make a good DB for us. And Tommy MacGyver, we recruited him as a quarterback, although he might actually be a better fullback. For now, we're going to put him at QB. Our school grades, I feel like, really aren't too bad, especially with our championship contender at an A- for some reason. Not sure why it's that high, but it did help us get some recruits. But I'm afraid if it falls too far, all those transfers that we just got are going to be leaving next year. Who knows? Maybe we could have a surprisingly good season next year. And I also did spend some of my recruiter points to go after some of those offensive linemen. Looking at our roster after training results, and wow, Elijah Elliott is a 91 overall. I was not planning on him being the starter, even though he was a slightly higher overall than Scott Ray Humphrey, but he only went up by 2 overall points. I think this is Elijah Elliott's backfield now. I also thought Jordan Reed was going to be our starter going into this year, but Chance Wilson had a good offseason, shooting up in overall above Reed, so we're going to have to see who our starter is going to be now. Being an 86 in just year 2 is honestly kind of wild, taking a look at some of the other upgrades that happened. A lot of offensive linemen we've got up here, which I love because I want to ground and pound this season. There's also a little bit of conference realignment happening right now, with UMass moving to the MAC in 2025. That's the only movement for this season, but this is the last year the Mountain West is going to be looking like this, as Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Utah State, and some other teams are going to be moving to the Pac-12. And the goal for us is to be there one day as well, as I'm going to go through and encourage all of these players that I moved over to punter a season ago to transfer out. As for our 2025 schedule, it's going to start for the Bobcats just like it will in real life against Oregon. Then we're going to have the Gold Rush game against Kennesaw State before playing another former FCS school in South Dakota State. That's going to be a tough one. Then we got some conference games kind of sprinkled in here with Hawaii before a little bit of a rivalry game here, a rematch of the 1984 FCS championship game, Louisiana Tech versus Montana State, and then we're going to dive into conference play. But unfortunately, it did not put the Brawl of the Wild at the end of the season. I thought it was going to. I had ran some tests with these custom teams, and because these guys were rivals in Louisiana, the teams that I replaced, I thought that it would continue to have them to be the final game of the season, but unfortunately not, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Apparently, the FBS does not respect one of the greatest rivalries in my opinion. Looking at some of the freshmen now, we got Maya at a 67 overall at cornerback, same with Tommy MacGyver with coaching boosts. We know that Thaddeus Caraway has star development. He's currently a 66. Our new fullback, Alexander Anger, is also a 66. Chase Roberts is our highest overall receiver this season. Johnson is number 2. Lanyata Alexander down here at 3. Taco Dollar, but don't worry, he will still be getting himself some playing time. And 4-star Chet Jarvis is only a 67 as a freshman. That's okay, he's going to have time to develop just like left tackle Bryce Anders. I love that we got Perkins for 2 more seasons as well, as we take a look at this freshman defensive tackle, also a 66. A lot of our young players are around that area, with Rick Jewell at a 63, but we did go after mostly 3-stars. Cox was one of those 3-stars. He is a 65 overall. Our freshman kicker is a 64 and our punter 61, but luckily they're both riding the bench this year. And of course, I'm going to make sure of that by going in and redshirting them. And as I'm putting on these red shirts, I did not realize Hunter Providence shot up that much. He will most likely now find himself as our starting tight end. And as I'm putting together the recruiting board this season, we've got our first instant commit from this wide receiver. Dylan Ornstein only has 80 catching and 86 speed. He's actually a bust, just like these other 2 receivers that I've scouted around him. But actually, out of all those 3, I think he is the best. I also like this vertical threat tight end, Carter Tant. He has 80 catching and 81 speed, 80 spectacular catch, and he's 6'4". And boom, we've got our second instant commit. It's another vertical threat tight end. Another player who was a bust, but looking at these stats, they're honestly not bad. 82 speed, 79 catching. I love having a good tight end to throw to. And this gem middle linebacker that I just found, Tyree Revis, he has himself 90 speed. That would be a lot of fun to use her. And that is all my recruiting points for now. Was not able to scout everybody that I wanted to, but obviously with 450 every week, we will have some time to do that. And now I've got a decision to make. We have a quarterback battle on our hands.
Wanna talk that talk in reality, you have not seen me in action. You think the come up comes overnight, you ain't behind the scenes, trust me, these things don't just happen. No shade at Gerald, but G's don't come easy when you tryna eat out producing and rapping. I read that contract you sent me to sign, but excuse me, I can't help myself, I'm just laughing. Hey, you tryna cut out a piece of my pie, and I asked you politely, what's it that you offer me, yeah. I produce all my own beats and I have no intention of losing my publisher, yeah. Independent individual, boy, I've been eating off passive residuals, yeah. Let's be professional, thanks for your time, but I had to decline at that principle.
Well, after running some practices with both quarterbacks as the starter, Coach McGee has made his decision, and he's going to be starting quarterback Jordan Reed. Yes, he is a slightly lower overall, but the junior has star development, and take a look at this, no caps on his development. Meanwhile, Chance Wilson, only normal development, which is very surprising for how much he shot up in the offseason. And honestly, his caps here aren't bad, and there is a chance that he gets some playing time either this season or in future ones. Taking a look at the Heisman watch here at the beginning of the season, Nick Singleton is the current favorite. He's a 97 overall. Then you got Hughes here, another running back for Tulane. Then you got Evan Stewart on Oregon, who we're going to be playing here in the next episode. Then you got a senior Ashton Genty, followed by Liberty quarterback Caden Salter. And before I forget, I did change the sliders from base Heisman to Matt 10's Heisman set, which I will leave a link to down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed and are excited for season 2, leaving a like is always appreciated. And until next time, this has been Jeffrey.